Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Enter his courts with praise. This is the day that the Lord God has made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it.
Hey, so in today's video, I am breaking down, as at the time of shooting this video, my most recently completed song. And I mean not just completed in terms of producing it in the studio, but writing it down and finishing it. I still have a couple of songs that I'm working on. Unlike my other songs that tend to be a bit more complicated, this one is, for me, and I think for quite a lot of people, the simplest. Simplest in terms of it's the easiest to understand, and it's pretty straightforward and easy to just, should I say, score the song? Yeah, let me use that word. Score in terms of you can sing it. It's a sing-along song. You don't need to really struggle much with it. It's also easy for you to score it as an instrumentalist, and that's deliberate because I wanted to do something very simple because the message of the song was pretty straightforward to me, and I challenged myself not to make it complicated. Secondly, it's the churchy English song that I have, and a friend of mine, Tigran, who shot the music video, he said it was my most churchy song, and he called it English church song, so we call it ECS for short. I am shooting this video for two major reasons. The first thing is that in the course of doing this song, a message came to me, and I will share it at the end of this video, so stick around to hear the message. It's something that I believe you would appreciate. Then the second thing is to just break down the song. It's more complex when you're breaking it down compared to the final product, and I believe that the message behind everything would also help as many people that are watching this thing. I wrote this song, I started it sometime in May, I think April or May of 2024. It was close to the time that my family were leaving me. Then Phoebs was heavily pregnant with our third daughter, and they were leaving Saudi Arabia to Nigeria because there was no way she was going to deliver in Saudi Arabia. That's because everything is free over there. We didn't have anyone to help. We had gone through a lot having the second daughter, and the third one was going to be something we couldn't cope with. Taking care of her would be something we wouldn't cope with. And as such, we just agreed that she would go down to Nigeria and deliver and then have people to take care of her because we come from the same place in northern Nigeria, and she stayed in the family house, so her family members could also come in and help, and that was a wise thing to do. But then it was a very difficult thing because I was going to be alone, and I had been used to them being around. I remember the day they left, man. And it's surprising because I used to be someone that loves living alone, and these people come into your life and become so prominent in your life that you just can't do without them. And there was also a colleague of mine that was also staying in the same apartment with us. He too was leaving. But that means that I was going to be alone. The message of this song has been there for years, but I just wanted to translate it into a song because the event was happening. I needed to complete the song and find something that I could be encouraging myself regularly, hence writing and completing the song. By ending May, before they left, I had written down the lyrics and I had given it a particular melody, but it was after they left I finally formalized everything. So let's say I finished the song sometime around July, August of 2024. So this song was something that I used to always encourage myself daily. I wasn't really finding it funny at work. Work was something else, and you have to go every day. Unlike before that, when I was coming back home, there are people that you would play with, you interact with, and they just make you forget whatever had happened. This time I'm just coming back lonely. Saudi Arabia is not really a place for strong social connections. I had a family friend that were actually taking care of me, but at the same time they were busy too, so it's not as if you can go and be disturbing them. And as such, this song was something that helped me to go through the days. As at the time of shooting this video, it's over a year that I had written the song, and by this time last year I was benefiting personally from the song. When I now entered Nigeria, I was like, Kenny, how far? We have one uncompleted work to do. Kenny is my producer. He was the one that produced Dear Heart and some other couple of songs. I was like, Kenny, can we just do a new song? That was what I told him. And I played like 3 songs for him, but he liked this Rejoice and Be Glad because it sounded different from the other sounds. Like most times you have a particular pattern to this or style to your song, so they might, no matter how you do, they somewhat sound like they come from you. This was quite different. Kenny was like, okay, let's pick this one. And that's how we did the song. Then for the video, I remember it was Adi Eze that told me, Kai, no, you need to do something for this song. You need to shoot something to just help push the song, which I did. And it was a challenge for both Tigran and I to shoot it. It was his first time of shooting something like that, and it was my first time of ever doing something like this. I remember before I told my friends that I would never produce a song, and I had produced a couple of songs. Talk more of doing a music video, and here am I. I had done one, actually 2. One is in the pipeline. So let's break down the song. I've taken quite a long time to give a background to it, but then the entire song is actually rooted in the Bible. There are different Bible passages that I went through. For many people that are familiar with Bible passages or familiar with the Bible, they will know where I picked this from. But for quite a lot that aren't, I'll just share with you what they were. So like verse 1 now was, enter his gates with thanksgiving and enter his courts with praise. Psalm 100 verse 4 said, enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. Anytime we approach God, we should have that heart of thanksgiving. Many of us we run to God only when we have issues and we just want to complain and hope for a miracle also. But this Bible passage tells us we should enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. So they're more of a positive reflection, positive attitude towards that. And that's it for me. I was like, okay, let's do something with that. There are some few songs that, even a very popular one that cites this exactly, and I wanted to start with that, something more familiar, something not difficult at all, because that was the whole aim of this song, is to write a song that before I finish it, someone listening to it would have been able to learn some parts of the song. So that was it. Enter his gate with thanksgiving and enter his courts with praise was what I went with. And then the second part is, this is the day that the Lord has made. And that one is found in Psalm 118, verse 24. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Another version says, we will rejoice and be glad in it. So that means it's not a suggestion. Having an idea that every day you have is a day being made by God himself. It makes you value time. It makes you value the day. And that's the aim of the entire song, is that nothing should make you lose that day. It's precious. It's been given to you by the Lord. Many people wish they could have this day. You wouldn't know how valuable time is, especially 24 hours. So whatever happens to you, a day is too much for you to lose to whatever is happening. So it doesn't mean that there wouldn't be times that you're down or so. No, there definitely will be. But having that mindset that this day that I have is a day being made by the Lord, and I am to rejoice and be glad in it. It makes you have a different attitude or a different perspective to whatever might come to thwart it. And then the chorus is just simple. I'll rejoice and be glad in it. And that's it. I just wanted to stress that you use the day to rejoice and be glad with it. I remember this hymn that said, count your blessings, name them one by one, and to surprise you what the Lord has done. We have that mindset of focusing more on the negative than the positive. And it will shock you that there are more things working for you than the other way around. But because of the kind of mindsets we have, we want those few setbacks to just mar everything. But then that's not what we're expected to do. Then for verse 2, it was, when I wake up full of sorrow, I have no reason to smile. It just comes from that Bible passage that said, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. And that's in Philippians 4 verse 4. He said, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. So at whatever time of the day, I'll rejoice. It's in the Bible. So when I wake up full of sorrow or I have no reason to smile, still, I remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it. Then The other one is, I'll rejoice in the Lord always, in the morning, noon, or night. There's a part in the Bible, the passage in the Bible, I think John 16, verse 22, that Jesus said, and let no one steal your joy. So let's read the passage. Verse 22 said, so with you, now is your time of grief, but I'll see you again and you'll rejoice. So no one will take your joy. No one will take your joy. One thing that we have with Christ is that we have hope. We have reasons to look towards the future. So irrespective of what you're going through, just know that the kind of joy that God gives and Jesus gives is something that no one can steal. Not any setback. Is it that you failed an exam? Is it that you got an issue at work? You're at the verge of losing your job? Have you lost money? Have you lost an important customer? Have you lost a job offer? Have you fallen sick? Is someone that's close to you fallen sick? Have you lost someone that's dear to you? The kind of joy we have in Christ is something that can carry you through all this. We have that misconception that we think that God will just make you just dodge all these things. No, but that's it. We just downplay the significance or the impact of the kind of joy God has given us. It's something that will be with us through the very, very rugged and darkest nights. Because joy is independent of the trials and tribulations of this world. That's why many of us are not afraid to go through all these things. It's the same thing that made people like Shadrach and Abednego not to be afraid to go into that furnace. They know they'll be fine. And even someone like Abraham, he was able to agree to sacrifice his son because of that hope that he knows that God is going to resurrect Isaac. Jesus was able to go through the cross because he knew that he would be resurrected, and then he was going to be given a name above all names. So we have reasons to just know that irrespective of what we're facing now, it's going to get better tomorrow. And that's it. That's the joy. I remember hearing the story of some children being asked to draw a picture of peace. And everyone was just drawing rainbow, sunshine, and the rest. And one child drew a bird that was sitting calmly on a tree branch, and below the tree was one very heavy wave that was just crashing, but the bird looked unbothered by that. So many of us don't look like our problems. You see us, but you wouldn't know what we're going through. And that's the same thing too. While I was in Saudi Arabia, it was quite rough at that time. And God helped. This song just helped amidst other things and other measures through which God intervened. And that's it. We're not afraid to go through the valley of the shadow of death. We're never afraid of death because we know that we have a hope. So that's the entire point of this song. And towards the end, it just went back to enter his gates with thanksgiving. Because when you go through the entire verses and you have reasons to enter his gates with thanksgiving, you come back and enter his gates with thanksgiving. So that was the entire gist of the song. I hope it makes sense to you. Have you gone through such things, and how were you able to just scale through them, and how God was able to miraculously guide you through all these things? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's know that we have a God that is with us in our highs and in our lows. God is not afraid of you facing anything because he knows once you are with him in this things, you are more than a conqueror. And that's the whole point of this song. Because of how profound it is, and now we've reached the announcement that I'm going to release a project. It's actually a free project. It is going to be purely about this song. And I'm going to release an album with just the song, and it will have that particular version that we find in the lyrics video and the music video itself. But then I had actually recorded some alternate versions, and you will listen to them. It's going to be a free project, free to stream. And for those that still download songs, we'll find a way of working around it so that you access it. This should help encourage you, irrespective of what you're going through. I know the country is hard, especially those still in Nigeria. But even those in diaspora outside Nigeria know that there are challenges too. And sometimes because you're abroad too, you can't even complain to people in Nigeria because they'll be looking at you and be saying, you are abroad, and then you're still complaining. So this will encourage us. The way we deliberately did it, we worked together with Kelly and some other instrumentalists to bring this to life. And it's something that you could listen to while you're driving, while you're walking. We tried to deliberately also make the instrumentals quite soothing, so you can just listen to it whichever time you want to. There's a purely instrumental part that doesn't have the voices, so you can just play that in the background to help. I believe and I hope that this would encourage a lot of people and also make them to forge ahead, irrespective of what you're having. You have God, so one with God is the majority. Don't ever underestimate the impact of having God with you, because Christ in you is the hope of glory. So I hope you really benefited from this video. God bless you. Take care.